Hi, my name is Aaron, and this is my wife, Ricky, and we have 3 kids, Reagan, Cameron, and William. And this is the story of God's graciousness and faithfulness in our life through a terrible accident that we experienced a couple years ago. It was July 3rd of 2021, and we were at the 4th of July parade in Slater, Iowa.
We'd been watching the parade. I'd been holding our 2-week-old baby, William, and parade had finished. I put him in his stroller when all of a sudden I noticed like a car starting to move out of the corner of my eye. And I remember thinking like, what in the world? Where are they moving? And then all of a sudden it just accelerated backwards, hitting us. And I remember scrambling up, just screaming, God help us, God help us. And I was running to find our kids. I ran to William's stroller. I just remember feeling relief that he was okay. And then I ran on and found Cameron walking toward me, her eyes just huge, trying to figure out like what just happened. And then that's when I turned around and I saw the car, and under it I saw Reagan's legs. And at that moment I was sure he was gone.
I saw Ricky, I saw her over on the other side of the street with Cameron and William, and I don't know if it was the guiding hand of God or if it was just parental instinct, but I knew that the car had to be moved, that Reagan was underneath. We had people around the entire vehicle, and we lifted it and moved it, and we found Reagan. Somebody pulled Reagan out from underneath. We heard his crying and knew that he was at least alive.
And because of Reagan's injuries, they flew him and myself to the hospital. We just realized that although the accident was horrendous, that God had been super gracious to us in so many ways. And for me, one of the first things I thought about was I had been holding William, and right before the accident happened, I put him in the stroller. And if I had been holding him, like, it would have been a totally different story.
One of the big ones was that Reagan was alive. He was run over by a car and dragged across the street. There's a tire mark that went up the back of his t-shirt. It went right up his back and just barely missed his head. But the worst injury that he came out with was a broken arm. I mean, he should be dead, but he wasn't.
Yeah, these truths that you always hear and have learned about became reality. And one of the hardest ones to grapple with for me was the fact that my children aren't my own. They're God's, and He can do what He wants to, wills to do with them. Immediately, after the accident, we were receiving messages from family and friends in our community just saying, how are you doing? We're praying for you in these specific ways, and
how can we help you?
How can we help? One friend in particular said, hey, I've been praying for your dreams.
Yeah.
How have your dreams been? And that's when it hit me, like, we haven't had nightmares. As far as I knew, none of our children, Aaron nor I, had nightmares.
Having the opportunity ourselves to work through and share our story really gives us the opportunity to kind of bear one another's burdens.
And ultimately, I think what we've learned through this journey is that life is a gift from God, and that there's no hope outside of Him.